All right. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Calvin Dean Show. Every Saturday we have Fantasy Football Roundup, and we do have a great show for you today. This is going to be fun, guys. This is going to be fun. How about that Thursday Night Football? I told you guys. I told you. Baltimore Ravens. I keep telling everyone. I told you in the beginning of the year. They're going to be in the Super Bowl along with the 49ers. I do know my stuff, guys. Do know my stuff. Unfortunately, let's just get right to the news. And especially you fantasy lovers. Joe Burrow, QB, torn ligament in his wrist, will miss the remainder of the 2023 season. Oh, man, it's just terrible. Terrible. Sorry, Joe. Man, he's such a great guy. And, I guess there's this things. He had a compression on his right hand, his throwing hand. The Bengals took all that stuff down from their website. So there's stuff going on. But I don't know. I think there's just hearsay at this moment in time. People trying to find something in it. But, he tore his ligament in his wrist. And people are saying now that the Bengals were holding back and there's an investigation. And mainly it's all the bettors, and it's not really the people caring. It's all the people who are betting, right? And, of course, fantasy lovers, all that stuff. Anyway, it's too sad. It's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Justin Fields, right thumb, has no injury designation. He's good to go against the Lions this Sunday. That's going to be exciting. The Lions are just going to have to contain him. And he's hard to contain, that's for sure. And so if you have Justin Fields, I don't know, I probably would start him. I would start him because he's such a dynamic player. And he could play out of his mind or he can be really terrible. But he's going to run and he's going to get some yards. So I would definitely play him. You Matthew Stafford fans, if you have Matthew Stafford, guess what? His thumb is set to start against the Seahawks in SoFi Stadium, guys. In SoFi Stadium. That's huge. I had already predicted the Seattle Seahawks would win that game. But, man, that's something to take note. And if you are a Matthew Stafford lover, Cooper Kupp, yes. And he's got all his wideouts, Pua, Kupp. Everyone's there, plus him. It's going to be an interesting game. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks are going to really have to prove their worth in this game because their number one quarterback for the Rams are back. And they have all their units other than their running backs. They have Henderson as a running back. Yet, he looks like, I think he might get a good game. But the Seattle's defense is a really, really good defense, guys. Really, really good. Okay. And, then we have Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson, elbow. Questionable for week 11. Questionable, guys. So take a note on that, right? And love coffee in the morning, guys. And let's just look at everything else. Yeah, it's just you have to know all this stuff, guys. It's Saquon Barkley. This is what he wrote. I'd go insane thinking about contract amid the Giants' 2023 season. He did sign a 1 year, right? A franchise tag. And, honestly, I mean, that's a great thing. He's probably happy that the Giants signed him on a 1 year. I mean, now he's got to be happy, because, he's on the, the 1 year and, man, he's got to be happy. We have a lot going on here. Mike Tomlin has the top 5 candidates in Coach of the Year. I would say so. Look what he has. Think about it. And he has a winning record. And he's really, really a great coach. Great coach, This week's going to be a fun weekend. Fantasy football lovers. There's 3 players to buy low, 3 to sell high. I just wanted to let you guys know that. And that's what this show is all about. Okay, ready? Here we go. Buy low. It wasn't pretty for Moore and the Bears offense with Tyron Baggett, right? Under the center. Last 5 weeks. Thankfully, Justin Fields will be back on the field this Sunday. And 5 weeks before Fields sidelines by the thumb, Moore averaged 22 fantasy points per game. Yes, 22. He logged in 100-plus yards in 3 of the 4 games. Week 2 through 5, that's what was his strong point. And in 4 games of Baggett starting, 4 games, he put up 211 yards. Wow. Total. 52 yards per game. That's not good. Because I have him on my team, but guess what? Justin Fields is back. Buy low. This guy, I think now is your chance to buy low on Moore. Before he gets back to producing with Fields. Okay, so if you see him out there, you want him, you have to understand something, guys. It's coming down to the end, and you're going to need these players because they're going to be playing. They're not going to be in the playoffs, so they're going to be playing throughout the whole season. And I would definitely try to get DJ Moore on your team. What about Devontae Smith? It's been a roller coaster for fantasy people who have Devontae Smith of the Philadelphia Eagles. He finished as a top 18 wide receiver in 4 different weeks. Man, but he's also finished as a top wideout 40 or worse in 4 different weeks. So it's like a upside down. But tight end Dallas Goedert is being out with a broken arm. In 5 weeks, Goddard missed last season, right? Smith averaged over 8 targets and nearly 16 points, fantasy points per game, right? So this is what I'm trying to tell you about. Goddard's gone. Last year, he just went on the injury. He's gone for the year. And the Eagles have a number of potential high-scoring games on their upcoming schedule. And think about that, featuring the Chiefs, the Bills, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Seahawks over the next 5 weeks. Wow, what a schedule, right? Smith should be at least top 15 finishes, at least. So that's a great buy. The next one, ready? Jared Goff. Yes. Goff has finished as a top 5 fantasy QB in 3 weeks this season. Only Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, and Dak Prescott have more top 5 finishes than this QB of Jared Goff this year. All right. Although fantasy production of Goff has not been so super exciting as of late, I think he has many big games ahead of him. I really do. That's another one that if you want to get Jared Goff, go out and get him. He is he's well known as the fact that Goff performed much better indoors than outdoor elements. He has averaged over 20 points per game when playing inside over the last 2 seasons. Well, that's at home, right? The good news is that Goff will be playing under a roof for 6 of his final 7-week games in 2023. 6 out of 7 games, guys. He's the best indoors. That's awesome. So, if you're looking for him it's funny. I've seen him on the waiver wire. I have 62 teams. I was trying to get a quarterback the other night, and because one of my quarterbacks were down, and Jared Goff was on the waiver wire. Wow. Got to figure. I mean, a lot of people just don't read, and they don't actually, pay attention to what's going on, And now, sell high. These are the next three players to sell high, okay? I feel like people they don't understand. I just don't understand why they don't understand, fantasy football. I mean, it's pretty easy. You just have to look at the stats. Only people who understand are how annoying it is to roster Justin Haber, right? Who has gone through experiences himself, right? Haber still has the big name appeal. And some people will jump at the chance to add him on his fantasy team, especially after 5 touchdown performance in Week 10. 5 touchdown performance in Week 10. Come on. The thing with Haber is that he is too often puts up complete duds. Complete duds. These are his fantasy finishes among QBs over the last 4 weeks. Ready? Last 4 weeks. QB number 20. QB 7. QB 25. And QB 2. Yeah. He's up and down. He goes from the 20s to the top 10. To the top 5. I don't know about you, but I don't want a role in the fantasy playoffs with this kind of inconsistency. Think about it. Plus, his upcoming schedule is not very desirable, guys. Think about it. Over the next 3 weeks, he faces the Packers. Their 7th ranked pass defense is the Packers, right? Then the Ravens, which is the number 2 defense in the league. And then he'll have plenty to play in New England, where there's 2 QBs, Sam Howell and Josh Allen, have topped 250 yards in a game this season. As Haber fantasy manager, multiple leagues, I am just itching to get off my squad. I just want him off. I need to sell him. And a lot of people will buy Justin Haber. So he's a big high sell. Jordan Addison is another one. Jordan Addison. Production has dipped since Kirk Cousins' season-ending injury in Week 8. He's still seeing a lot of targets, but guess what? Meanwhile, Justin Jefferson is set to return soon. They're talking about Justin Jefferson returning this weekend. And I find it very hard that Joshua Dobbs has sustained fantasy production for 3 pass catchers. Jefferson, Hockenson, and Addison. I just don't see it happening. You just can't sell Addison at a high. You're likely. I think people will buy him at a high. I think they will. So go out and sell Jordan Addison at a high point, right? Like DK Metcalf and Cooper Kupp, I have much trust in. I do. They're going to produce, especially Cooper Kupp. Another one, sell high. Gus Edwards. Edwards has scored an otherworldly 8 rushing touchdowns over the last 4 weeks. 8. But that's a trend he can't. I don't think it's going to last forever. Lamar Jackson, will start racking up some passing scores, even run into the end zone himself, right? And the rookie, Keaton Mitchell, has been earning a bigger role. I mean, he's the speedster, man. The kid is just fun to watch. That's someone to pick up. Edwards doesn't score touchdowns in any given week. His fantasy production is going through the roof right now. It's wow. 18 to 27 fantasy points scored over the last 2 weeks have come down from touchdowns. Because, he's scoring the touchdowns, but, he's not getting the big yards, like 200-300-yard games, he just isn't. You don't want to be stuck holding Edwards on the fantasy roster. One touchdown, lucky, Neville fades away. I think he's going to fade away. So I would sell high on Gus Edwards, Jordan Addison, and Justin Haber. Buy low, man. DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, and Jared Goff. I really think that Jared Goff is a great buy. So if you are a fantasy lover like myself, man, just go for it. How about CJ Stroud last week? I told you guys. Wow, I was 11-3 with my picks last week, guys. 11-3. Yeah, 11-3. So, you best listen to my show. I've already got 1-0 this week already. The Ravens, right? The game on Sunday, let's just go right to each game. The Cowboys and the Panthers. Panthers, Thielen, start him. Their defense is good. It's in Carolina. Will Dallas have a lull? They always have lulls. Lull, lulls, guys. It's they do. Dak Prescott, I don't know what it is with the Cowboys. They look great. They look like world beaters, but then, they're going to go into Carolina Panthers. I'm giving this one up to the Cowboys, but I don't know, guys. I just don't know. We have the Cowboys. I would start everyone. Have to start Dak Prescott. You have to start CeeDee Lamb. I mean, a lot of people are trading up for CeeDee Lamb. Their offense is 7th. Their defense is 2nd. Their passing is 9th. And their rushing is 13th. They're looking really, really good this year. And it's their stats. You got to look at their stats. Their stats are really, really good this year. You got to go with the hot hand. Dak Prescott's been hot. I don't know how hot he's going to be with the Panthers because, like I said, the Panthers' defense is pretty good. And they're at home as well. You never know. Panthers' defense is 6th, guys. 6th in the NFL. That's good. That's really good. They're top 10. So, be careful with the Panthers this weekend. I have an upset special, the next one, right? I have the Steelers over the Browns. No one knows who's going to start. They have Flacco. The Browns are seeing Joe Flacco over this weekend. Man, they just, PJ, they were talking about not starting PJ. They're going to start a rookie. They're in disarray. Man. Disarray. Only thing they have going for them is their defense. They have nothing else. They have Ford. I would start Ford. Maybe, I just their defense and Ford. I don't know how the quarterback's going to fare. I just don't know how he's going to fare against the Steelers. Steelers are really good. They step up. That's the whole thing. The Steelers are just, it's amazing. I mean, Tomlin being talked about being coach of the year, and I believe it. Look at their offense is 30th. 30th, guys. Passing is 30th. It's near last. That's how terrible their passing attack is. The rushing's 22nd. They're getting better. Rushing was higher, but they're getting better because the offensive line is pushing it. That defense is 25th still. But I think their defense is a better defense, especially going into Cleveland. It's not going to be that great weather. I think both teams it's going to be a very low-scoring game. Pittsburgh defense, Browns defense, I'd start both. I would have said, Najee Harris, maybe Warren with the Steelers. Deshaun Watson's out for the year, of course. You heard about that. Now, The next game, I have the Bears. Justin Fields, start. DJ Moore, start. And the Lions going into, Ford Field in the Lions, and they're 7-2, and they're 7-2 for a reason. They're top 10 of everything. 4th top-rated offense, 7th top-rated defense, 6th top-rated passing, 7th top-rated rushing. You can't go wrong. The rushing for the Chicago Bears is 2nd. Forum, Fields, DJ Moore, not their defense. Their defense is 21st. But definitely start who you can start on the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery, Brown, just Goff, St. Brown. It's just, guys, of course, it's the Lions, and their defense as well. So I'd be careful on that. But I think the defense is a really good defense. I think they're smart enough. They're going to contain Fields, but he'll have a good game still. The next game we have the Chargers going into Green Bay. Wow. And it's going to be fun. It's the Chargers, Haybear, now it's the time, this week is the time he's going to be in the top 20 as passing. He's off and on. I don't know. The Packers are really good against the pass. So it's going to be a tight game. I don't like Jordan Love. I wouldn't start him. Maybe Jones, Watson. I would just Haybear. You have to start Haybear. Eckler. All the pieces that come with him. But it's going to be a tough game. I don't know. I hopefully a Haybear will do well this week. The next game we have Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals going into the Texans. C.J. Stroud. You have to start both of those. I don't know if I would start a defense. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. And Dell, I would start him. Singletary, pick up Singletary. That's a great pick. I think the Texans are going to go to the playoffs. Can you believe it? The Texans going into the playoffs. Wow. You have the Titans going into Jacksonville. Jacksonville's going to just pick it up. They're going to wipe off their loss of last week. They're going to win. Trevor Lawrence, start him. Etienne, start. Kirk, start. Start everyone on Jags. The Tennessee Titans just, I don't know, they're 3-6. They just don't look good. Derrick Henry, man, wow. Where is he? I just think it's the offensive coordinator on the Titans that need to be fired. I'd fire him. He's terrible. Okay, I was watching one game. And that's the reason why I said it's terrible. It was first down goal. They're on, I believe it was the 4 or 5 yard line, right? They have Derrick Henry. What do? Drop back and pass. You have Derrick Henry on the 4 yard line. The first play, drop back and pass. And then the second play, they give it to Henry. Well, it's going to go to Henry the second play. They caught him like 2 yards back in the offense. They knew it. It's just like, oh my God. I called it. I go, watch, they're going to run right now. Second down. 4. They're going to run. And they did. And they caught him in the backfield. And they lost 2 yards. Wow. I don't understand. I just don't understand offensive coordinators and how sometimes I'll sit there and go, I'll see them, like they'll be on, like a team will be on the, especially like Dallas. They'll spread everything out, and they're on the 4 yard line or 5 yard line. They'll spread everything out. And I'll go, oh, this is a quarterback draw. What is it? Quarterback draw. Defense don't even know it. I don't get it. If I get it, If I see it, why isn't anyone else seeing it? I especially people who you hire. I don't know. Next game, we have the Raiders against the Dolphins. A-Chain is back. He's great. He's devastating. The Raiders, they're going to run all day on the Raiders, that's for sure. So, Mozart, A-Chain. I don't know how good Tua's going to do with Max Crosby in his face. Think about it. Raiders are 5-5 for a reason. They are. I can't believe they're starting the quarterback. They should be starting Jimmy G. That's their mistake. Josh Jacobs, I would start him. Devontae Adams, I would start him. I love Mayer, the tight end. Love him. I'd have to start their defense. You don't know. I mean, they could come after the Dolphins. Dolphins don't good against teams that are winning record. They're not a winning record. They're a 500 record. But think about it. All their wins come from teams that with losing records. So Dolphins, start the characters. Tua, Cheetah, Mozart. You know which ones to start. Come on now. I don't have to tell you about the Dolphins. Maybe literally they have that exciting offense. I mean, they're number 2 offense now. They used to be number 1 in passing, 1 in rushing, and 1 in offense. But they're number 2 offense, 2 in passing, and 3 on rushing. And their defense is number 9. So, I mean, they look good, guys. Defense number 9. Gotta like their chances. Gotta like their chances. That's for sure. The next game, we have the Giants going into the Commanders. There's 2 ugly teams, 2-8, 4-6 teams. Sam Howell is literally leading the league in passing yards, like over 2,700. So, gotta like that. Offense is 13th. The passing is 5th in the NFL. 5th. Top 5. Sam Howell. Can you believe that? Top 5. But their defense is 31st. The defense of the Giants is 30th. So this is going to be an ugly game. They have DeVito. Danny DeVito, the actor. No, I'm just teasing. Man, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. And so, the rushing is 12th. Barkley, I'd start Barkley. Why not? Start, but that's the only person I would start on the Giants. Sam Howell, McLaurin, Robertson. There's some guys, Logan Thomas, I would start him. Samuels. You have to with the Commanders. You have a Sam Howell who leads the league in yards passing. So why wouldn't you start the wide receivers? Dotson, you have to. You have to, guys. The next game, you have the Buccaneers going into San Francisco, playing the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, boy. The Buccaneers are going to find out what a real team is. And I'm not saying that, other teams aren't real and aren't good. Yeah, look at what the San Francisco 49ers did last week to the Jaguars. They made them look stupid, And I think that they're going to do the same with the Bucs. With the Bucs, maybe Evans. I would definitely Evans, Otten, White. I'm not a big fan on their running game, so they're not going to run. They have Chase Young and they have Bosa on the. So in the passing, Baker Mayfield's going to be under pressure. The Niners know how to win. They start their defense, start McCaffrey, start Purdy, start Debo, start Achuk, start Kittle. Come on, start everyone on the Niners. They're going to destroy the Tampa Bay Bucs. So, unfortunately for the Bucs. The next game we have the Jets going into Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to find a way into the playoffs this year. I really do. think they're a much better offensive team than the Jets. Jets do have that great defensive play, but they're playing in Buffalo. I just don't see the Jets winning this game because of their offense. I'm not a big Zach Wilson fan. Saleh keeps praising, oh, well, Zach did better. He's doing good. I'm happy with him. How can you be happy with him? 4-5. I don't know. I'm sorry. You can't convince me on Zach Wilson and the Jets offense. You just can't convince me. The Bills know that they're going to stop. They're going to stop their running game. Breece Hall. They're going to stop them. They know, and they know that they're going to force Zach Wilson to pass the ball. That's not pretty. He does have a nice ball, but he's not there yet. I think he needs maybe a year or two. I was going to say in the minor leagues, I was going to be cruel, but maybe, I don't know. I'm just not a big Zach Wilson fan. So all you do is start Allen, Diggs, Gabe Davis, Cooks. I don't know if it's going to be a high-scoring game. Might not be. Might be a defensive game. So be careful. But you never know. You never know. The Jets could turn it over, and the Bills could, I think the Jets are going to turn it over a couple times. The Bills will take advantage of it, and that's where you're going to get your points for the Buffalo Bills, their players. You have the Seattle Seahawks coming into the Los Angeles Rams, playing the Rams. Seattle 6-3. Wow. But see, they're in SoFi Stadium. You have the cover. I mean, it's been raining outside in Los Angeles, but it doesn't matter because, it does matter if there's wind, but they do have the roof, right? So it's not going to be wet. It might be a little chilly for Los Angeles, but I see the Seattle Seahawks doing well. DK Metcalf, Walker, start their defense. But I think Matthew Stafford's back. I think he'll maybe throw a couple touchdowns, maybe even a couple interceptions for the Seattle Seahawks defense. Cooper Kupp, Pua. I don't know if I would start Henderson. I'm just not a fan of Henderson. Next game, we have the Vikings. Joshua Dobbs, will he start? Will he not start? He playing the Broncos. Broncos are a team on the rise, 4-5. Vikings, team on the rise. I think this is the time where the Vikings stop winning in this game. If they don't start Joshua Dobbs, then they're idiots. But guess what? Jefferson's back this weekend. Start him. Addison, Hawkinson. Madison's out. He's on concussion. So, make sure you know that. On the other hand, the Broncos defense, I would start their defense, especially up in Mile High Stadium. You got to start their defense. And, Russell Wilson, he does well. He's doing better. Williams, Sutton's doing really good with Russell. Start Sutton. Russell, I don't know. If they have another quarterback, start the other quarterback. Russell Wilson. That's just, come on, let's be realistic. So last game, Monday Night Football. We have the Eagles going into Kansas City playing Taylor Swift's Kansas City Chiefs. I just had to, guys. Yeah, I know. Hey, Taylor Swift, gotta love her. Anyway, start Travis Kelce, Mahomes, Pacheco. Not much. Rice, pick up Rice. Rice is going to do good. I think they'll really try to push the ball that way. Vandal Scandling. I don't know if I probably would pick him up. You don't know. The Eagles are 8-1. Chiefs are 7-2. This is going to be a great game. Jalen Hurts, start him. Swift, start him. Swift, start him. Not Taylor Swift, but Swift on the Eagles, start him. I would probably play the defenses, the Chiefs defense, great defense this year. And then A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they're going to have a touchdown or two. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I really do think it's going to be a fun game to watch. That's going to be fun. Guys, fun. Thank you so much for tuning into the Calvin Dean Show's Fantasy Football Roundup Saturday. And I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy. Take care. Thank you for tuning in.